World shocked. Philippines successfully purchases 40 French patrol boats and 5 Japanese warships. The Philippine Coast Guard, PCG, will be receiving at least 40 fast patrol crafts, FPCs, from France. The vessels are expected to further improve the country's response capabilities in search and rescue operations, environmental protection, maritime law enforcement, and disaster response. This developed as PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Gil Gavin also disclosed that President Marcos has approved the acquisition of 5 97-meter ships from Japan. Gavin said that once the 5 ships from Japan are delivered, the PCG will have a total of 8 large patrol ships. On the other hand, Gavin said the 40 units of 35-meter fast patrol crafts cost P25.8 billion and be funded through the Official Development Assistance, ODA, from the French government. Marcos earlier approved the acquisition, which involved the assembly of the first 20 FPCs in France, while the remaining 20 vessels were locally assembled in the Philippines. He said the additional of 40 fast crafts will quadruple the current PCG fleet. It is the largest single purchase so far in the modernization of the PCG. It is a game changer for us. It will enable the Coast Guard to have at least 2 patrol boats in every district fast enough to reach the edges of our exclusive economic zone, EEZ, Gavin said. These FPCs will position the Philippines as the youngest fleet in Southeast Asia, he added. Aside from patrolling against maritime crimes such as smuggling, drug trafficking, piracy, and illegal fishing, Gavin said the 40 FPCs will also be deployed for West Philippine Sea response as well as search and rescue, surveillance operations, and maritime protection. This will form part of the force mix that we need to address threats in the West Philippine Sea and all forms of maritime crimes, he said. In a sweeping move to modernize its maritime security force, the Philippine Coast Guard, PCG, is set to receive at least 40 fast patrol crafts, FPCs, from France, as well as 5 new 97-meter patrol ships from Japan, marking the largest combined expansion in the agency's history. The ambitious initiative is aimed at strengthening the country's capability in defending its territorial waters, responding to natural disasters, and confronting growing threats in the West Philippine Sea, WPS. PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Gil Gavin described the acquisition as a game changer that would quadruple the current fleet's capabilities. It is the largest single purchase so far in the modernization of the PCG, Gavin declared during a media briefing. With these new patrol crafts, we are no longer just reacting. We are proactively securing our maritime domain. The deal for the 40 French-made 35-meter FPCs carries a price tag of 25.8 billion Cuban pesos and will be funded through an Official Development Assistance, ODA, program facilitated by the French government. Of these vessels, 20 will be assembled in France, while the remaining 20 will be constructed locally in the Philippines, creating an opportunity to bolster the country's shipbuilding and defense production capabilities. These FPCs will provide unprecedented speed and agility, designed for high-speed interdiction, search and rescue, SAR, maritime law enforcement, and environmental protection missions. Once delivered, every PCG district in the country will have at least 2 rapid response patrol boats, ensuring quicker reaction times across the archipelago, including distant waters near the fringes of the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ. Each fast patrol craft can immediately be deployed to the most remote corners of our waters, Gavin noted. They're not just vessels. They're lifelines, deterrents, and symbols of our commitment to national sovereignty. In tandem with the Fast Craft program, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. also approved the acquisition of 5 97-meter offshore patrol vessels from Japan. Once these new ships arrive, the PCG's total number of large patrol vessels will increase to 8, giving the agency a stronger presence in deep waters where large foreign vessels often operate. These Japan-built patrol vessels will be fitted with advanced navigation, surveillance, and communication systems, making them ideally suited for extended maritime patrols. including joint operations with allied navies and other Philippine maritime agencies. This is part of our continuing commitment to uphold the rule of law in our maritime domains, protect our marine resources, and ensure the safety and security of our seafarers and coastal communities, said President Marcos in a statement released by Malacanang. The upgrades come amid rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea, where Chinese vessels, including maritime militia and Coast Guard ships, have been repeatedly accused of harassment, illegal incursions, and aggressive maneuvers against Filipino vessels. These include reported sideswiping of civilian vessels, firing water cannons, and deploying military-grade lasers to deter Philippine Coast Guard and Navy ships. Admiral Gavin emphasized that the additional ships will play a crucial role in addressing these challenges. This will form part of the force mix that we need to address threats in the West Philippine Sea and all forms of maritime crimes. These vessels are not just for presence, they are for deterrence and defense, he said. The fast patrol crafts will also be used for anti-smuggling operations, anti-piracy missions, and intercepting drug trafficking routes, persistent issues in Philippine waters. The PCG has long been outpaced by criminal and paramilitary elements due to its aging fleet and limited resources, but this modernization project is expected to reverse that disadvantage. Analysts say the PCG's modernization signals a broader shift in Philippine defense policy, which has traditionally prioritized internal threats over external security. The Philippines is finally matching rhetoric with capability, said maritime security expert Professor J. Batong-Bakel. The presence of high-speed patrol boats and ocean-going ships sends a message that the country is serious about securing its maritime interests. Furthermore, the local assembly of 20 FPCs is seen as a boost for the Philippine maritime industry, with possible technology transfers and job creation in the process. It also strengthens ties between the Philippines and France, adding another layer to the country's growing network of defense partnerships that already includes the United States, Japan, Australia, and South Korea. With these new vessels set to arrive in stages over the next few years, the PCG is poised to become one of Southeast Asia's most modern and youngest fleets, capable of defending the nation's sovereign waters while also responding quickly to disasters and emergencies. This is more than modernization, Admiral Gavin concluded. This is a national commitment to defend every inch of our waters and ensure that the seas serve our people, not foreign intruders.